We talk a lot about building science, but we also talk about material safety. And in this project, material safety is really, really important to this client, and it's always important to us. But I'm standing next to a piece of polystyrene, and we know from previous videos that polystyrene is actually a red list chemical, meaning it's on the red list, that is the list of toxic chemicals put out by the Living Future Institute, which promotes the Living Building Challenge. So why am I standing next to polystyrene? Well, sometimes we have to make choices about not only budget, but about efficiency and effectiveness of materials. While we always promote using healthy, non-toxic materials, we never want to take away from the value that building materials add. And if we have a material that is far and away above every other material that we can use in that application, even if it happens to be toxic, we want to make sure that there's no other option that can give us the same results without that toxic cofactor, toxic element. And we want to make sure that if we're using a toxic material, that toxic material is in a place and utilized in a way that doesn't injure or potentially injure the workers on the job site and the homeowners when the project is done. And this is one of those applications. How are we using this polystyrene? Well, this polystyrene is being used in 2 places and 2 places only on this project. Firstly is below this stego wrap, which is a non-permeable, non-perforated material in the crawl space. And it's also underneath the rat slab in the crawl space. So this is about as far away from the homeowner as you can get in this project. The other place is underground. Now, we place this insulation on the outside of the foundation around the perimeter of the house like this. It is covered in the French drain that we showed in previous videos. There is no access to this insulation once this house is being built. It's entirely underground. This material, while it is toxic when it is manufactured, it is completely inert once it's manufactured. If this house was to start on fire, this insulation would be underground, either under dirt at the perimeter of the house or under a rat slab in the inside of the house. We don't have to worry about the occupational usage of this material. We don't have to worry about the usage of this material when the house is being lived in, and we don't have to worry about this material in case this house caught on fire in the future. This is probably the only time we use this material because of those cofactors. We also see that we're using PVC on this project. Now, the reason we're using PVC, although we don't use PVC in any other application, is for subgrade drainage. And we use it only in the same circumstances that we use this polystyrene. It's underground. It is a material that does not have a comparable substitute of natural materials. It is incredibly resilient at doing what it's doing, and we don't have an opportunity for it to cause illness with the workers on the site, with the homeowners in the future, or in the case the house burns. Now, polystyrene is a little bit different in that when it is manufactured, it is producing something called dioxin, which is a very, very potent chemical and one of the most toxic chemicals known to man. We don't really have an alternative here. We can't use other types of pipes because they don't have the same characteristics. So in this respect, we're using a toxic material, but we're using it only after very deliberate consideration of all of the other opportunities that we can use other materials and not having peers. This is part of building science, but it's also part of building in an intelligent way and using materials that are potentially toxic only when you absolutely have to. This is building a better way. If you're interested in learning more about building science or about earthbound homes, please hit subscribe as we show you how to build a better way.